So the political seasons come about every 2 years, and of course, the presidential campaign between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. The campaign initially was supposed to be Trump and Biden, and all of a sudden, the Democrats decided it was a good idea to go ahead and bring in Kamala Harris. And what you see happening is the same old playbook. Now, there was a time when if you had a black candidate coming, you could automatically guarantee that black people would at least pay attention to this person and give them an open ear, an open invitation. They would look at them and invite them in without and consider voting for them without, really thinking about it too much. But now, with the rise of black male social media, it's heavily influenced the political scene. Kevin Samuels and the people that came before him who talked about dating and other sorts of social commentary, they've influenced the social dating atmosphere so much so that, The Wall, High Value Man, Red Pill, female nature, hypergamy, these terms are now just part of the everyday lexicon. And this is something that was introduced by black male media particularly, but then specifically it got real hot because of black male media on YouTube specifically, or black male social media. So now we're in a situation where you're starting to see how black YouTube or black male YouTube is heavily influencing politics. There was a time when Kamala Harris, just because she, is perceived to be black, people would give her a pass and just say, well, she's black and we're going to vote for her, but not now. And the thing about it is, they would often, and when I say they, I'm talking about the mass media, I'm talking about the established parties. They would oftentimes recruit entertainers, actors, comedians to come forth and basically help stick the landing, so to speak. In other words, convince black people that this person was the person that we should vote for. This would make them hot. This would be the person that their idols are voting for. But see, that dynamic is shifting. That's what I want to talk to you all about today. People don't necessarily look up to actors and entertainers and rappers anymore. In reality, the people that black people and also white folks in general, if you think about Mr. Beast, one of the most popular YouTubers in the United States, and he makes more money than Kim Kardashian. And she's a product of the mass media, of the old media, of the traditional media. And here he is, a product of social media. No different than in the black manosphere. I recently saw Anton Daniels on Fox News, subsequent to a viral broadcast or viral post that went up where he was educating an African-American woman who had planned to vote for Kamala Harris solely because she was black, and he let her have it, and that post went viral. So these are the new thought leaders. These are the people that folks are looking up to. It's not a Michael B. Jordan, it's an Anton Williams. It's not a Denzel Washington, it's a O'Shea Duke Jackson. It's not a I don't know what's my man's name, just so many different ones. There's so many different guys out there, but it's not the entertainers anymore. It's the social media guys. It's the YouTube guys, the same red pill guys that people laughed at. Now people are paying attention to them, and they're driving the political climate. They're the ones that said, no, we're going to force Kamala Harris to talk to us. We're going to force her to tell us what tangible she's going to give us. We're not just going to give it up. We're not just going to do it. Even the politicians don't carry as much weight anymore. I would argue that a Tariq Nasheed has as much or more influence than some of these, this Senator Clyburn or Representative Clyburn. Because, number one, his popularity is organic. He didn't become popular like one of these politicians who's constantly appearing on news feeds and news media. And so the people therefore assume he knows what he's talking about, and he's therefore a leader because somebody somewhere in some obscure representative zone or county or district nominated him, and he was elected and is holding a position for several years. That's not just that's not the only qualifier. The reason YouTubers are popular is because they have something that other people agree with. They voice the opinions of the public. My broadcast, and I tell my guys all the time, it's really not me, it's you. And when I say, my panel is different because 99% of my, or anywhere from 95 to 99% of my subscriber base is comprised of black men. And so when I repeat what they say, they tune in because I'm telling the world what they think. In other words, these YouTubers, like myself, are reflecting the thoughts of the people that subscribe to their channel. That's how we know what's going on. It's not that I'm telling them what to do. It's not even that I'm leading them. It's that I'm telling you this is what they think. And the reason that they subscribe to my channel is because there's a significant portion of them that think the way I do. Now, of course, my channel is on the grittier side because, we don't hold back on my channel, and we don't try to make it seem as though it's not what it is. These are the raw, uncut thoughts of black men. And oftentimes there's a lot of other men from other ethnicities that agree with us, and they watch too. But as far as who is dictating the body politic, who is dictating the direction of politics, it's social media. It's YouTube, it's black male media, it's white male media. This is what is driving American politics right now. And some people, they laughed at it. They laughed at it when the social scene began to change. They didn't know what was going on when the men started going their own way and the passport bros. When men start talking about alpha and pickup lines, and all of this stuff got hot on social media. And this is something that the mass media, the regular media, the old school media is going to have to learn to deal with. And on top of that, you can't really compete. They can't compete. They're going to have to try to figure out a way where they can co-opt some of these social media personalities into mass media, or they're going to continue losing viewership. Because the folks who are coming from social media, they're the ones with their ear to the street. They're the ones that know what the people are thinking and can adequately reflect those folks' thoughts. And that's not something that can be replicated. Now, I say all that to say, there are still a lot of entertainers who think that we're still operating by the early 2000s Obama playbook, where they can hop out front and attempt to dictate to people, specifically black people, who they should vote for. And they can even attempt to use shaming tactics and guilt to try to convince black men that they should vote a certain way. Specifically, they're trying to convince black men that they should vote for Kamala Harris. And that's going to backfire. All you're going to do is evoke the anger of black men, and it's going to be directed towards you as an entertainer. And I'm talking to the D.L. Hugleys. I'm talking to the all of you guys out there who are watching YouTube, whether you're a rapper, actor, entertainer, whomever, if you want to continue having a fan base amongst black people under the age of 50, then your best bet is to probably remain apolitical. Because at this point, whether you like it or not, and again, the other thing you have to understand is many of these actors and entertainers are based in California, they're based in New York, they're based in these coastal cities, the left coast, the East Coast, and they don't actually know what's going on in Middle America because they're so far removed from what's going on in Middle America. They don't understand that black people are, especially black men, have seriously changed their perception of what is and what is not acceptable. There was a time when, brothers would consider voting Republican as being a sellout. But at this point, it's just like common sense. And there's some valid reasons behind that. Number one, the economy. People are filling it in their wallets. People are filling it in their bank accounts. We want gas to be cheaper. Some of the other things that you have to understand is that black men for the past 10 or 15 years have not, black men and black women have had deteriorating relationships. There's a famous YouTuber, and his name is Obsidian Mumia Ali, and he coined the term, and I heard this back in 2014 or 2015, the problem with black people and going into the 21st century is that black men and women don't get along. And I've yet to heard a truer statement. So the idea of running a black woman at the height of a time period when black men and black women are not getting along, even for the point of social relationships, the idea that you would try to shame these black men into voting for a black woman solely because she's a black woman, even when it goes against their political interests, is far-fetched. And I don't think people realize that. So if you have black male entertainers, actors, rappers, sports players who jump out there and try to shame black men or convince black men to vote for this woman under the auspices of keeping it real or racial loyalty or whatever, there's going to be a backlash. And so my strongest suggestion to you all is do what you're supposed to do in these times, and don't consult with your publicist. Instead, you need to listen to what's going on YouTube and also remain quiet, stay out of it, or it's going to mess up your money. But shout out to Anton Daniels, man. It was good to see him on Fox News. He made a great representation as to how black men feel about the Democratic Party right now. And again, I tell you guys all the time, I know who I'm voting for. I'm voting for the person that whose political party serves my interest. And I tell you fellas that all the time. Vote your interest. Vote your interest. Vote your interest. Vote your interest, vote your interest, vote your interest. I'm not telling you to vote for Republican. I'm not telling you to vote for Democrat. I'm not even telling you to vote at all. I know I'm going to vote, but some of you may decide to sit this one out. If that's in your interest to do that, that's what you do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to listen and reflect what you think and what your thoughts are on my YouTube page. So appreciate you guys, man. Like, share, subscribe.